Canon G7X Mark III is my everyday vlogging camera, but what should Canon improve on in the next version, the Mark IV? Let's talk about that, but first I need a coffee. Now the Canon XA50, which is what I'm filming this on, that's what I use for my big video projects. But when I'm running around on road trips, I want to take something small with me. I'm taking the Canon G7X Mark III. It's a great camera. It's small, it's quick, and its 24 to 100 millimeter lens size is perfect for vlogging. You can hold it out at arm's length like this, or put it on a tripod at a further distance to even get more of your surroundings. Released in 2019, it's time for an update, a Mark IV. The G7X Mark III is pretty good as it is, and I've already made another video about using this camera, which I'll put a link to down in the description below so you can check that out. However, it's time for an update, some modifications on this camera, and I think Canon could make some few changes and roll those out in the next version, the Mark IV. I have some ideas. I'm going to get into those. If you have some thoughts, put those thoughts down in the description below. Just a quick note, if you're watching all these videos, as I know you are, and you're enjoying the content, but you haven't yet subscribed, please click on that subscription right there below. Now let's talk about the first issue with this camera, what everybody searches on the internet when they go to buy the Canon G7X Mark III. How do you mount a microphone? As you can see here, I have mine. It just slides right in, this cold shoe mount. The microphone plugs in right there, and this Rode Video Micro slides in this cold shoe mount here. But there's a problem. This is not the Canon's cold shoe mount. This is an aftermarket accessory made by U-Rig, which just creates this cold shoe mount here because the G7X doesn't come with a cold shoe mount. I'm gonna take it off so you have a look. Here. The camera in its original state, no cold shoe mount. Canon, this is bad. You need to fix this in the next version, the Mark IV. Put it over here, put it over there, put it up here. Well, maybe not up here because you don't want it to get in the way of the flip screen, but put it somewhere. This needs a cold shoe and maybe even a hot shoe mount to make my life easier. And bonus points, if you put the cold shoe mount up high enough, you can set the camera down on the table when you're not shooting and it doesn't push up against this little shock mount. If you put it down too low, you can't set it down comfortably and it's a disaster. Now something else I'd like to see in the Mark IV that I've seen out there on the Sony ZV-1 that I think is just so cool, especially for all you people doing YouTube product reviews, and that's the product showcase feature on the Sony ZV-1. It's pretty cool. If you take something like this Allen key and hold it right up next to the camera, the Sony ZV-1 automatically focuses on that and then brings it back focused to your face when you drop the item down. This Canon could use that in the next version, the G7X Mark IV. Another option that would be cool but is not a must-have, it'd be a bonus, is next to this microphone input, put an audio out, a 3.5 earphone jack so you can monitor your sound or listen to what you've recorded in a loud noisy area so you know everything's okay. They could put it under one of these flappy doors here or here. It'd be a great addition to the Canon G7X Mark IV because when you're trying to play back a video to make sure it sounds okay, I'm putting the camera up to my ear just to make sure the video came out okay, and that's far from ideal. So a nice bonus feature, Canon, if you put that on the camera. Move or ditch this connect button. It's annoying as hell. You don't need it on the next version, the G7X Mark IV, and it just gets in the way. Often when I'm shooting a video, I accidentally hit that button, and look at that. The camera shuts off and you go into this connect mode. Very inconvenient. Or at least come up with a method in the firmware to disable this sucker. Now in the category of nice to have, I was watching the Sony ZV-1 video and the feature it has is if you flip up the screen like this, it powers up the camera so you're ready to vlog. Bam, and you're ready to go. Canon could put that on the next version of the G7X so you can even vlog with much more convenience. Now I can vlog and I can shoot for hours, but there's a limitation on the Canon G7X, and that's the time limit for recordings. Is 30 minutes for 1080p and only 10 minutes for 4K. I have plenty of batteries. Batteries are not a problem. but I need more time. This thing shuts off after 30 minutes or shuts off after 10 minutes in 4K. That's ridiculous. So with the Canon brains and new technology, I'd like to see this problem addressed so you can just continuously record as long as you have battery power. Until this sucker runs out of batteries, you can record, you can vlog, you can do whatever you want. This thing will keep going. Now let's talk about another issue that needs to be addressed, and that's the overheating. Almost always for my vlogs, I'm shooting in 1080p, so I haven't had any overheating issues. But when I want to shoot in 4K, if I switch to 4K, it says overheating and you have to turn off your camera. That is a major issue that needs to be addressed in the next version, the Mark IV. Now let's just see if I can do it right now. I go into the menu, record quality, and I select 4K. Let's go record. Look, you get that message right there. Cannot shoot, turn off the camera, or shoot in a lower video quality. Normally it's not a problem for me, but you should be able to record always in 4K without worry of this overheat issue. A big fat red record button. Now you flip up your screen and you're ready to record your video. Look at that, I hit the connect button. That thing's gotta go. Now you flip up your screen, you're ready to record your video. You gotta reach around and find that little red button on the back side of the camera so you're ready to start recording your video. That's too inconvenient. I'd like to see a big red record button on there. Make it big, make it red, so you know where to press when you want to shoot your video. This works for photos, but not for videos. Finally, one last thing on this camera, and I know many of you have had questions about it or you've had problems with it, and that's the autofocus. For me, most of the time, it's not an issue. You can go see my recent videos. I'm using the G7X all the time for my vlogging videos, so you can look at the videos. The autofocus is not a problem most of the time. Sometimes the focus jumps around on items behind me and does not hold my face focused exactly, or just goes out of focus for a half second and then clicks back into focus. So this needs to be updated. I'm running the newest version of the firmware, the 1.2.0 firmware, so I think I have the latest and greatest firmware, but the issue still persists sometimes, and that could be fine-tuned in the next version of the G7X Mark IV. Now please give this video a thumbs up.